Hello dear colleagues, my name is Dmytro Chumachenko. I am glad to present you results of research. Does the Russian war in Ukraine affect the COVID-19 dynamics in Canada? The simulation study. Since Russia launched the causeless full-scale war in Ukraine on 24th of February 2022, the country has suffered the biggest tragedy since World War II and a global humanitarian catastrophe. An escalation of the Russian war in Ukraine began at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic and caused forced migration of the population. And during the last year, almost 200,000 Ukrainians arrived in Canada. So the study aims to assess the impact of the Russian war in Ukraine on the COVID-19 epidemic process in Canada. To do that, we developed COVID-19 dynamics model based on polynomial regression method and tried to estimate its accuracy on two data samples 30 days before the beginning of the escalation of the Russian war in Ukraine and 30 days since the beginning of the escalation of the Russian war in Ukraine. So as you can see from the results presented on the slide, we have high accuracy. It was 99.52% for new cases and 99.67% for deaths for the first period for the 30 days before the beginning of the escalation of Russian war in Ukraine, and 99.84% for new cases and 99.87% for death cases for the second sample for the 30 days from the beginning of the escalation of the Russian war in Ukraine. We used real data of COVID-19 dynamics in Canada and a comparative analysis of mean absolute percentage errors of the model applied to the data, to both data samples, showed a slight difference, and this suggests that the dynamics of the epidemic process in Canada have not changed. This means that the factors influencing the dynamics of COVID-19 have not changed also, and the forced migration of Ukrainian citizens to Canada caused by the Russian war is not a critical factor influencing the epidemic process. This is due to the peculiarities of the support program for Ukrainians, which restrains large migration flows and allows crossing the border only after a lengthy document check and obtaining permission. Thank you for your attention.